Oh, my bad. I wasn't even streaming this. We're off to a great start. My name is Benjamin Tuttle, and this is going to be a podcast idea. Right now, I'm just not sure. I don't have a confirmed schedule, but this one's going to be a bit more formalized. This can be with slides. I'm going to be working with StreamYard. Going to share some news, maybe do an interview. I'm not sure when I'll do it. I'm probably going to be bumping this up to like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. I don't know. We'll find out, or maybe I'll do something. I don't know. But basically, we're just going to be dealing with today's topic is starting out. So this episode is going to be for anybody who's kind of curious on working with the Unreal Engine, but you don't know where to start, and you just want to you just have a couple questions, and then maybe we'll dive into different topics as we go down the line. But for now, I do have some news. The first thing with this show is I would like to show you guys freebies from the Fab Marketplace. So there are two right now. There's something called, we'll even open this up. Something's called the Vista Modern House Environment, the Perry Attack System, in the Modular Bakery Shop. Keep in mind, when it comes, they'll be releasing this every 2 weeks. So, however, this one actually has, it's not supported on 5.4 or 5.5, only 5.1 to 5.3. And not only that, but I've ran into some lighting issues with this set. So, I mean, if you want some kind of modern home or something like that, just take some props and build your own set. You can. The other one is a bakery shop. It looks pretty nice. I looked at some of the props. It's worth a look. It's free. Keep in mind, it's only free till the 28th of January. So, I'll give you guys a link here in the chat. You can do whatever you want. Remember, 28th, it's free. So, do whatever you want. I mean, hopefully everyone can see this chat. Hopefully everything's good. So today is going to be more of a slideshow. I'm going to be presenting here. Let me get my screen. And that's, you can see that's me. Let's present, share screen. And let's actually go here. There we go. So let's begin. And if anyone has any questions, let me know. I can easily highlight comments and everything, just like this. Oh, no, we're not putting the user. So I can do something like this. So feel free to ask. I can have a look and we can answer the questions. So Unreal Engine and iClone, where to start? Simple. So let's talk about why do you want to use the Unreal Engine? Well, you can use, it's free to use under certain circumstances. So if you're not making, there's a certain, like once you start making a certain amount per year, I believe it's $1 million, but I need to verify. Then they would charge royalties. But, if you're a hobbyist or you're just starting out, it's free to use. There's real-time ray tracing. So if you're looking for, softer shadows and all that and reflect, surfaces that reflect in real time, there's your opportunity. People who want a iRay, an alternative to iRay, there's your chance. If you do have a card that supports real-time ray tracing, so anything RTX 2080 and above, or anything like that, 20 series and above for NVIDIA cards will support that. You have a huge array of tools for production. Chaos and Niagara. Chaos is for destructibles. Niagara is for particle effects. So for anybody who wants to work with, the major question when it comes to iClone is popcorn. Oh, when will they expand popcorn? Not really. It's like, you can. There's tools for popcorn, but for Niagara, you can actually make your own particle effects. It takes some time. It's quite intensive at times, but you can make volumetrics. You can do, fluids, and, you can make like water if you wanted to, smoke, fire, explosions. There's actually pretty good, there's a really good, like a series of webinars that's worth looking into. If you want to pay for courses, there's courses on that. but there's opportunities. There's camera tools. You have rush hour for like vehicles, ultra dynamic sky for easy sky blueprints, which I'll explain later. The other thing is it's a lot more affordable when it comes to your production. And what I mean by that is, how iClone charges quite a lot for sets and all that. I think there's plenty of great tools for Unreal Engine when it comes to the marketplace. That's often a lot more cheaper and a lot more affordable. Plus, you have access to tools. There's always free items. You can look into Humble Bundle if you wanted to. There's always, Humble Bundle is a great option. There's always a sale going on that has a wide variety of packs to use. So that's just a couple of things. And there's more opportunities to expand your creative vision. So what I mean by that, it's a lot more optimized. You can build larger sets and all that. I've noticed that iClone can be kind of taxing on that and not very optimized compared to Unreal Engine. You can build cities. You can build your landscapes pretty easily with tools like Brushify, or if you want to take the extra step, make it yourself. There's just a lot more opportunities, and that's really why I went into Unreal Engine, because the set designing, there's a lot more options out there. So I could build like the city of New York. You can even use like cesium or something like that. So what it does, it creates a Google Earth, a 3D Google Earth thing. There's plugins for that. And then, if you want to like shoot at a location for like background shots, you can. So it just opens up a ton of doors for you if you want to look into that and get to start thinking like, much more larger roles and sets, and you get to make epics if you want to. Excuse the pun. So what's the role of the Unreal Engine? Well, to serve as a production tool, not just a rendering extension for iClone. This is something I need. This is kind of a mindset. I kind of get annoyed with Reallusion that, and there's like a mindset that people will treat it just like a rendering extension. Like you press the button, you go to Unreal Engine, hit the button, render, and you're good to go. I think you need to look a little bit more into Unreal Engine as your production tool. It's there. It's your camera. It's your set design. It's everything, And I think I see this mentality a lot where they just briefly glance, it's just real-time ray tracing. Click, render, done. And, maybe that would be good for a very quick production output. But if you really want to take it to its full potential, look into it as a production tool. iClone is just blocking animation for characters. And Unreal Engine will do the rest. There's a ton of tools for lighting and camera and everything like that should not be forgotten. So, where's the required plugins? You can download the Unreal Engine. So I have a link here. So let me click on this link and let's share this tab here. Hopefully you guys see this. So I'm going to provide the link here for anybody who's new. So let's actually go back to here. So apply for the iClone Live link and for the Unreal Engine. So let me give you guys this link. Please, if you are not making, let me go down here. Let's actually share this tab here quickly. I want you to go down and look at this. So you have to scroll your page down here. So let me provide the link here. Please do not buy this if you're just a hobbyist. Don't buy this. Just don't. If you're making less than $100,000 a year, you're just hobbyist, you can just go in, request it. You're going to get approved. Just make sure, you have a full version of iClone 8. One person, if you're just a hobbyist, please go in. Do not buy this just yet unless you're making over $100,000 and all that. If you're making less than that and you're just a hobbyist, go in, request, you'll get it for free. So, and the CC shaders for Unreal Engine is here. So let's click on that. Here, you download it. It's basically a bunch of blueprints and everything what you need to do. So you go here, download, and then you'll install it into your project. I do have a video here that will explain the whole process, just getting started. So let me link this. Oops, sorry. We're not going to. Let me actually just share the link. Yeah, sure. Let me share the link to my video. That'll describe the process of bringing in characters. Sorry. Oh, it's not allowing me to do that. Hang on a second. Sorry. Just want to make sure. Okay, good. So there we go. We don't need to see that. Come on. So now it's time for advice for new users. So you downloaded the Unreal Engine. You got all your plugins and you're ready to go. And so here's my advice. For anybody starting out with Unreal Engine, don't panic. Don't panic. There's going to be moments where you just feel overwhelmed. There's going to be moments where you're just frustrated and angry at everything. Things will break. Things will break. Murphy's Law exists no matter what film, live action, 3D, whatever it is. Murphy's Law happens. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. There are things. Unreal Engine has a ton of bugs and stuff that you're going to find, and it's going to make you mad. But first, don't panic. Don't panic if it's a huge, complicated engine with a huge learning curve and everything, but don't panic. Just take a deep breath and get right to it. Just take things slow at a time. Take one step at a time. So the second thing you need to do is, again, don't panic. So there's a video here called Sequencer for Linear Animation Workflows. This is SIGGRAPH 2019. And I'm going to give you guys the link to this video if everything's good. So what's so special about this video? What's so special about this particular video? Well, I was here. I was here right when they started describing.
So this morning
Sorry, that startled me. Yeah, I was right here when they were describing everything. We were in a computer lab at the Los Angeles Convention Center in 2019. This is where I really got my first real start into the Unreal Engine. So we had the teacher. We had it was like a high school computer lab kind of thing, or a college computer lab. So we sat down and we were going through the sequencer, and it just felt so overwhelming for me at the start. And I didn't know what to do. So I was kind of looking around, and, I started playing around with it, moving characters. Then once everything started clicking, like how to bring in certain animations and making adjustments, I started to adjust a little bit, change my mindset. And I took a couple deep breaths. There was nothing holding me back. It's just, I was just holding myself back. But if I just, took it easy, started one little thing, found out what it did and what worked and what didn't work, and then I started kind of getting used to the sequencer a little bit. And that's when it started clicking to me during this event, when I was playing around with the camera and everything. I was making my own little camera. I was making a new camera. And once I found out how to do that, and everything started just running along. And everybody else was doing the same thing. They were just all playing with it while he was teaching it. He was going through the steps. Suddenly it realized to me at this very moment, there's a lot of potential with the Unreal Engine. This was the moment where wow, this could be something amazing. This could be, I need to work with this a lot more. Then I started getting a lot more motivated. So, don't panic. It feels overwhelming at first. And I had this motion. It was here. But then once everything started to, I just started learning it more and more and more and more. It started making sense, and I started feeling like, hey, this is incredible. I can, I finally get to make stuff. This could be a huge game changer. So we're done with that. Let's actually let's go into the next slide. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll answer it. So I want to invest the last couple minutes, or last 10 minutes into questions. So the other thing to keep in mind is patience is key. Patience is key. So yeah, even though I kind of got a grasp at it, when it comes to sequencer, I didn't really make a short film until like 6 months into the Unreal Engine. 6 months. And I've been at it for it's well over 5 years now. Patience. And I think this comes in with this notion, like I said, this notion of go in, render, make movie, press button, And then I think, with the live link and everything, how it was advertised, I think it created a lot of frustrating moments, and people just wanted to make the movie now. They don't want, I think they lose motivation. But this is where you have to be patient. You have to learn the Unreal Engine. You have to learn how to make a movie. And you kind of get into it, Get into it, like slowly learn, It's not going to, now keep in mind this, even though this might scare you, it probably won't take you 6 months. For me, I was completely new to it. I didn't really check any resources. To me, I just dived in and see what I could do to break it. That's how I learned things. I was out building sets and playing around with lighting and looking at all the little options I can do. I didn't really worry about the animation side of things until much later. Then once I tried to do the live link. It didn't work. Well, I was looking through other methods. That's how I found the FBX import. And I found out how to do that. And I realized, oh, wait, this is a lot more efficient. I can do this. So it was kind of one step after another, after another, after another. But remember, be patient. Be patient. There is no quick make movie done. There's always going to be steps along the way. So the other advice, like I said, I mentioned earlier, let Unreal Engine be your main production tool. Like I said, I think the idea of just sending stuff through iClone, hit render, it's fine for a moment, but I think you should look into spending time with the Unreal Engine, learning how to build sets, and then not only that, but kind of shifting iClone to blocking and animation, and Unreal Engine for everything else, your set design, everything like that. It's a huge jump. It's a huge shift in mindset, but there's a lot of potential. So the first thing I tell anybody who's new is learn how to build a set first. Just even before animation, even worry about before like you bring in iClone. I think too many people just worry way too much about, just sending in a character first and doing animation stuff. I would say hold off on that and learn, just go in and build the set first. Build a set, light, set up your camera, make a sequencer, find out, how to work with the sequencer so you can set your camera, you can move, you can play around with a bunch of tools and just get into that. Then you can start doing the animation. Once you start doing the animation, it's going to be a lot easier to work with. So it's just kind of knowing the basics. Then everything starts rolling along. It's going to be a lot easier. And it's once you really got into a system, then of working with this, then it's just going to get easier and easier to make a movie. You can start doing visual effects. You can work with Niagara. You can, there's a lot of great tools you can play around with. Then, the sky's the limit. So learning how to build a set. Now, this is where I can say, there's when it comes to affordability, let's go to Fab quickly and I'll show you. And let me show you guys, why it doesn't hurt. Just to look into it. You don't need to spend a whole lot. So let's go here. So let me go here through the Fab Marketplace. Now I'm going to show you guys the free section. Oh, come on. So this is the free section for Fab. And you can just look down. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can look into. You know, you got fire effects. You have, let's go down here. You have a free subway train. You have construction tools here. You got more fire, treasure, apartment, you know, old equipment. I've used this quite a bit in Shockbreak and Skygirl. You know, you have a lot. Let's kind of go down here. Freeway. You got a city park. I used this before for my short. And also, yeah, you got the live link. Oh, yeah. Be sure to download this and install it in your engine. I have a video explaining that. You know, you got all this stuff. Just go in, go through here, scroll down, see what you guys like, go apply to the project, and just build something. Build a set. You don't need to don't even go buy a map. Just go in and build. So just go in, find out how to place objects in, and just take some time. You know, take some time, relax, you know, have a cup of coffee or whatever, and just go in, you know, see what you want, and it'll make things, you know, you don't have to spend anything. You just spend some time. Yep, there's cesium. So this is like, you know, your Google Earth or 3D Earth or whatever. So, you know, Mission of Minerva, that's from Kit Bash. That's included. There's vehicles. Look at all these options. Look at here. This is why I tell people, just go in, dive into this, build it, and then, you know, it's easy to work with. Look at all this stuff. If you want to make a Western, this is free. So this is what you, yeah, that's why I strongly recommend. So what you do is make a new project. Doesn't have to be your final one. Create a blank set. I usually do empty level. Then you can add your sky, or you can do open world or basic and just get rid of a bunch of stuff. Eventually, you know, maybe somewhere down the line, I can show you guys how to like build a set. I mean, and also if anyone wants to really dive into it and you don't know where to start and you want a free lesson or sorry, not a free lesson or anything like that. Yeah, we could do like live streams and all that for free lessons. But if you're looking for like tutoring and stuff, I could get you from, you know, A to B, like how to build a set, get you really comfortable working with the Unreal Engine. Just let me know. I can, you know, we can work with that. So the next thing is learn how to light your Unreal Engine. Don't use iClone for lighting. Just use Unreal Engine. There's a huge variety of tools. There's one light in particular that I don't see in iClone, but Unreal Engine has, that I wish iClone would have. I mean, they have a very rough version of it, but they don't have this kind of light. The first one is, let's talk about our main types of light. One is, this is directional here. So directional is mostly suited for outdoor scenes. You have spot and point lights. So spotlight here, point light here. So mainly for indoor outlight or light sources. So that's what I think about. But this light here is rectangular light. This is the one I'd like to use. So this is like a box light. Have that line of thinking. You know, when it comes to lighting characters and everything, you know, some people will use spotlights, but personally, I just use the rectangular light. That's how I get like really nice kind of lighting for a lot of my characters and my video productions. If I have to do close-ups, you can also use it to create catch lights. So the little glint in people's eyes that adds life to the character, you can use that. You can use a rectangular light for that. Very powerful tools. I mean, the rectangular light is probably the most powerful light of all the four. The most versatile, what you can do and what you can't do with rectangular lights. It's incredible. I wish iClone would have rectangular lights. They have a very, very crude version of it that doesn't work very well. I wish they have some of this. It would really change the game, but they don't. Not that, but with lighting, you can also adjust color and everything, but you can also adjust color temperature. So you can make like tungsten light or daylight. Tungsten is 3200, daylight's 55, and then you could do like stuff like afternoon and all that. So just keep that in mind. You can do whatever you want. It's just a huge variety of lights. iClone I find quite limiting. Unreal Engine, there's quite a lot of it, but you have to go through. Not only that, but you can also set a bunch of stuff like volumetrics and stuff. Very, very powerful. And then I didn't even discuss skylighting and all that. This is just the 4 main ones to use. So, that could be another fun one. But also, William, there's a channel, that discusses lighting a lot more deeper. That's worth looking into. And let me, I would actually bring it up if anyone's kind of curious. Let me go find them. So, let me go here. Let me just look up, and I will definitely link that into the description for you guys. So this is just a really in-depth tutorial, well worth it. Well worth it. So hopefully this will help you. If anyone has any questions, let me know. Hang on a second. Did I screw up? So the camera. So next thing is the camera. Unreal Engine's camera is a lot more powerful than iClone's. It's a lot more versatile. You can adjust aperture, shutter speed, exposure, etc. if you know what you're doing. But there's one other tool when it comes to Unreal Engine's camera system, which is the rail and crane. You can ensure like smoother animation. So the problem with like keyframing in individual camera animations, when you keyframe it, it's going to produce like a very jerky effect. So if you're trying to do you want to try a hero shot and you're just doing like keyframe rotation, you're going to have a tougher time at doing keyframe, or having characters shift or following along. There's going to be like a really like jerky effect. And I see this often with Unreal stuff too. The camera will jerk in one direction quickly. That's, just because it wants to shift direction. But with a crane and rail system, you can actually have a very smooth transition. If, like I said, it does help if you have like experience working with cranes. Not that, but another thing with you can also adjust you can actually create an anamorphic effect as well with the camera tool. You can create widescreen anamorphic lenses. You can also add film grain and visual effects like film grain vignettes, and you can also adjust do your color correction. You can make it black and white if you want to, just put the camera under, or you can do a post-process volume as well if you don't want to do that. But you can also create a blueprint that will ensure a handheld effect in camera. So yeah, it's pretty realistic. Like, it works pretty well. I use it a lot if you haven't seen my live streams. Not that, but it's very easy. Just and also you can make adjustments immediately. So I do, for reference, I do use a camera tool in Unreal Engine that has a lot of the a lot more real world applications to it, like lenses. There's a bunch of like little facts they put in that just gives you a different look with the camera that I strongly recommend, and I'll link it to the video. I mean, I have it at the end here. So the sequencer is your timeline. So to create your animations, you need to make a level sequencer. So you can set up frame rates, you can create folders. So if you have a lot going on, you can also add in what is called subsequences. So when you transfer the files or when you save it in Take Recorder or whatever, I usually just do transfer because it's a lot easier to work with. You can actually, like, if you have soldiers, like hundreds of soldiers, you can actually copy and paste. What you can do is make another sequence, and then you can copy and then shift it over and save it on under another sequence and another, and then you can actually add them all in, so you can have groups of people walking. If you have like groups of soldiers or large crowds or something like that, it's very, very useful. It's a very versatile tool to work with, your sequencer here. So you can also create folders. So you need to organize if you do by actor, because if you ever seen this, sometimes if you have, I do this with larger scenes with a lot like activity, like visual effects or something like that. What I'll do is, like, if there's a huge set piece and the level sequence I need to do like major explosions or anything like that, I like to build little folders to separate actors in. It makes things a lot easier. So you can adjust your frame rate here. So this is 30 frames per second. And then to the right, there's like a little squiggly line here. That's your curve editor. So for camera movement. So if you need to make smoother animations, like smoother transitions, ease in, ease out, you can do that as well. So on your left here, I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see this through the cursor. I don't think the cursor is showing up. But on the left, you see a camera icon and a clapboard icon. The camera icon on the left will create a new camera for the sequencer and create it as what's known as a camera cut. When you have a camera cut, that's the view of the camera, wherever the camera will be rendering. You can do like multiple cuts with different cameras and adjust it. It's like a camera switcher for iClone, but I don't like doing that method. I would, just because I have like I like to have full editing in like Premiere and all that. So if I look for certain moments or if I need to trim, that's how I think. You can do whatever you want. But personally, I just render whole shots. I don't deal with the camera switcher or the camera cuts or anything like that. So rendering. So once you get to the clapboard, actually, can you see it? Yeah, so this clapboard here will lead to rendering. That's your movie render queue. I use EXR image sequence. There's multiple options. I think MOV. You can also export audio too. So if you have characters talking, you can export the audio as well. You can add in console commands to improve the quality of your rendering, along with other things. You can actually do stencils as well if you're doing compositing. And you also can save your settings as presets. So you go in, you would save as a preset. So when you go down to settings here, you click down and then you choose your video. So a couple things is be aware of anti-aliasing. So if you have hair cards, you don't want to adjust because there's something like people will adjust anti-aliasing and the hair just flutters in at 150 miles an hour. And you don't know why, because you overwrote the anti-aliasing where it screws it up. So that should do it. So recommended tools. Personally, just to start with, there's hundreds of tools with Unreal Engine you can work with. You can play around with some of the more advanced ones. There's a couple of major things like major set designs. You can build like a whole city block. If you're looking to build like New York sets, there's, you can also download the free city tools stuff from Unreal Engine that they used in the Matrix demo, along with like cars and everything. That's a pretty good option. But there's also like a blueprint based city designing thing, so you can build blocks and everything. It's called Downtown City Pack by Polysphere Studios, but it's expensive. So for this one, I just wanted to keep it reasonably priced. So there are three ones I could think of. So the first one is called Ultra Dynamic Sky, which I'm going to link here. So let's go here and share this tab instead. So Ultra Dynamic Sky is pretty easy, drag and drop, and it's going to create a sky blueprint. You can also adjust time. You can also adjust, you can have auroras. You can have the moon at different phases. You can actually base it off of longitude and latitude. There's also weather that's included. So, you can also have it affect like your material. So let's say if it's raining or snowing, you can actually, under the right circumstances and material editing, You can have like snow like on top of certain on top of your props like cars and all that if you want to. Well recommended. You can make your own sky, but personally, I would strongly just say, hey, if you're really serious, you want to spend $40, which would, I think that's the cost of it, or you can just wait for a sale. Even then, it's well worth the price at 40. It's a really great tool to have at your disposal. I think it's worth every penny. Uh, you have this, yeah, you even have auroras. You can set your moon. You can even set cloud cover too. So you can have like little clouds or a lot of clouds. Huge great investment to have. So there's another tool called Cinematographer Light, which is basically a drag and drop camera system for Unreal Engine. Has a lot. This is what I use. Difference between Light and Pro is Pro, you can build your own camera. Light is pretty much they have presets to work with, and the presets work pretty well. It depends. You can have security cameras, you can have phones from your cell phone acting as the camera. It kind of goes through all the stuff. But there's like real world applications and stuff. Some settings, they have instead of like shutter speed, you have shutter angle and all that for this camera you can work with. So though finding it's kind of tough. It's there's a certain folder you have to go in and bring it in. But I think if you're heavily serious looking to Unreal Engine, it's a really good tool to have at your disposal. So it's a lot more powerful than just the default, and way, way more powerful than the iClone's camera. Last but not least is this is free from what I remember. So this is called Physical Layout. Now William does have a video about this, this physical layout tool. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, physical layout. So let's say this, you have a bunch of objects and you want to do like scattering, like rocks or whatever. A good example would be rocks. You just want them to scatter, or you put them down or have them kind of fall over or something like that. Some kind of scattering. What you can do, like apples, like a box of apples. So this tool allows you to do is you make some adjustments, you hover and then you click and then all the apples will fall in. And what you can do is you can convert that to what's known as an actor. So basically it's going to freeze when they fall into the box, you can have it freeze. So instead of like placing the apples one by one, you can just click and drag and they all fall in. It's a really useful tool for set dressing. It's free. Now, keep in mind, there are certain steps you need to take. William has, let me go find that video from William when he discusses this, because it's a really good, it's a pretty good tool. So let me just give you guys a link here for him. He describes it. Just be careful. Like I said, if you do it wrong, it's going to crash your project, but a great investment to have. So yeah, he demonstrates this. I actually do use this for a lot of my set dressing stuff, like if I need to do rocks or something that falls to the ground, or if I'm working something easy. There's also other tools as well that let's just go back here. There's other tools that I do like. Let me go here and show you. This one here allows much more a better look. So this is a PostProcess. It works with Ultra Dynamic Sky. Gives you a lot more realistic fog and everything. It's a great tool to have. I'll link it to you guys down in the description below. Very easy, just overwrites. Just make sure you turn it on in the plugins, but very good tool to have. Like I said, these are just other tools would be. This one's a little bit more advanced. And the price is right now 175. Sometimes it'll go up to 150, depends on what you do. This one's called Rush Hour, and I strongly recommend this one. So Rush Hour is, it's going to train your vehicle. So you bring in a vehicle, you have a train, and then it'll kind of run along, and it's automatically driving. I'm using this for my project called Endgame. Great tool to have, but this is just in case because of the price and everything. This is for anybody who wants to really dive in to Unreal Engine. There's other tools. There's one that I haven't tried out that people do recommend and like, Fluid Flux, but I don't have that. Brushify is a really good tool, so let's go to Brushify. That's another one. Like I said, this is much more advanced kind of stuff if you're really needing to if you really need to look into it here. So this one is called Brushify. This is kind of landscaping here. So, whoops, did I stop sharing? Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. But yeah, let me go quickly share the screen here for Brushify. So yeah, it's just a landscape creation tool. Hopefully, let's get back into it. There we go. There we are. So this is Brushify. Build your tool. A lot of distance meshes here. So I do use it time to time. So if you're looking for any outdoor scenes, very quick production, like I said, this is really a strong look into Unreal Engine. Why it's worth looking into for your set design. Very powerful tool. Let's actually go into. Let's have a look at Humble Bundle too, just in case. Yeah, this is another one. Sorry, I'm just looking at a couple things here. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I might as well. I'm not sure about the licensing. It's been discussed about that, so just be aware. Look into it. But yeah, this one, Humble Bundle. You just put in a certain amount. I think $30 gets you all that stuff. But like I said, just be aware. Be aware of it. So, like I said, this is for anybody who wants to take the next step. This is what I recommend a little bit afterwards. So, that you do. This has been a lot more formalized. Like, hopefully in the future, I'll have a lot more. I want to bring in a guest and we'll discuss it and discuss filmmaking or all that. I'm trying to think what would the next episode be on this. We'll probably. I do want to bring in like a guest or something, talk about that, but. That should do. Hopefully, this guy. If anyone has any questions, I'm gonna leave it up to the floor. Just give it a couple of minutes here. I don't know if anyone's in the chat tonight, but let's see. But yeah, don't panic. Build a set, and you should be all right. Maybe. I'm not sure. Let's see. I don't know if anyone else is going to be jumping in. But like you said, like I said, if anyone has questions, let me know. I'm available for tutoring as well. Oh yeah, it's a help for me. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, actually, I'll show you a comment here. Nope, there. But yeah, this let's actually have a look at this Humble Bundle thing. Ooh, I had my eye on this one for a while. Got Gates. What is this? Now I'm going to give you guys the look here. Look at this one here. This one is. Yeah, I'm going to give you guys the link here just to play around with it. But keep in mind, I'm not sure about the licensing about this, so just keep an eye on that. Yeah, let me give you guys a link. Just have a look, You just pay a certain amount for it, and then you get all this stuff. So food here, so you get food, restaurants, sculptures. So tier 1 would be, what would be tier 1? I think it's this. Tier 1 would be $1. You get all this for $1. 15 is 27.45, and then $30 for the rest. Hang up. Sorry. Yeah, just it's under Humble Bundles, so yeah, I think this will do for me tonight. Yeah, I'll try to see if I can do another show. This time, I do want to bring in a guest or find a guest, and we'll just kind of talk. We'll find a discussion. Maybe we'll look into writing. Maybe we'll even look into other topics too, like writing or casting, or how to work with certain special effects. Maybe how Unreal will change their production. If anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to jump in, we could talk. We can get this set up. It's a little bit different from my normal live stream, so. Yeah, that'll do. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon. Take care.